the world's leading frustrating website, demystified. Today here on Business Banter, we've got two of the best experts that are going to demystify how we actually make a ton of money and save a ton of time on Facebook. I'll see you in the box.
I'm ready for this. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, Karen, in the banter box today, I am so unbelievably excited. We have I work a lot with Facebook. I hear of a lot of frustrations. I think it's like the most messed up, listen, here's the thing, kids. We all know that dealing with Facebook is like trying to unravel Christmas tree lights the next year after you've put them away. Like, it is just a ball of jumbled mess. And Rob and Lynne Alfano are with us today. They've got a brand new book out, and they are like the first people I've ever talked to that can actually demystify this juggernaut of a site. Wouldn't you agree, Karen?
I would agree, because it's constantly changing. Every single day you open it up and it's something new. So we need Rob and Lynne. Let's bring them in.
Let's bring them out.
Hey guys.
Hey gang, welcome to the party.
No pressure. No pressure. You're going to demystify all of Facebook right now. Okay, you
Yeah.
ready?
If you could just start, how do we spell Facebook? No. I'm joking. So all seriousness, here's one of the things. As a consultant, I run a mastermind. I work with lots of business owners, literally from all over the world. It seems to just scare people to death in order to market and advertise their business on Instagram and Facebook. And so one of the reasons why Karen and I wanted to have you guys in the banter box today is really because, quite honestly, we're sick and tired of being sick and tired trying to understand this platform. And so we thought we would bring on the two that can Houdini our way out of this mess.
Yeah. Thanks. I mean, there's so much. I mean, it's true. I mean, your Christmas lights analogy, I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, that's good.
That's only if while you're also unraveling the Christmas lights, they changed to, a Christmas tree. And then you're just like, okay, I was dealing with lights. Now I'm dealing with the tree. And then they turn into ornaments. And then you're just like, okay, I guess I got to deal with this now.
And then, oh, by the way, it's Hanukkah.
Yeah. And then, So I don't know if everybody knows that. So I worked for Facebook. That's kind of like where I got this, I don't work there anymore, but that's where I kind of got the firsthand experience with frustrated people. It's not just, entrepreneurs and everybody out there. Literally everybody is frustrated with Facebook, like all the way up to CPG advertisers that are spending $100 million a year. So it's like if it makes anybody else feel better, everybody has a problem with it, not just you.
And as his wife, I was one of those frustrated people. So imagine when he was still working there and I was trying to learn it and work it and run all successful ads. He was hearing me all the time.
Yeah.
Well, so let's just start out with the fundamental and the basic question, as we've already started this. Why should I care about Facebook? I mean, if it's so frustrating and it's so difficult and the target is always moving and it's always changing and it's just a messed up jumble of mess, why should we care? As business owners, right? I want to put money in and get money out in terms of advertising and marketing. Why should a business even care about this? And I know that sounds like such a softball question because your book is literally called Zuck My Life, but why should, at its fundamental core, why should we care?
Yeah, I mean, it's I've tried hard to make cases for all the other advertising, available out there for small businesses, but you really can't beat just everything that Facebook allows you to do, everything that Instagram allows you to do, just how kind of once you kind of figure out what you're doing, right, there's no better platform for any small business to advertise on, just because of all the features and all the things that you get along with advertising that you kind of don't get with any other platform. the public has spoken. Like, I mean, if you watched, Facebook's last earnings call, they were up 100 points in a day. It's all because they have the most active users they've ever had, and the highest advertising revenue they've ever had this last quarter. So, that's in the midst of like economic turmoil and like all this other stuff. So it's like the company is doing well. People are using it, and I know a lot of people who are. If you're not advertising or have a business that relates to people under 18, your audience is on Facebook or Instagram.
I mean, and truly, like, they intend from the beginning, they've always intended it to be user friendly. They've intended it to be, for the everyday business person who does not have a marketing degree, who does not have 20 years experience in digital marketing. They want everyone to be able to use it, right? But the thing was, they've also created so many different options and so many different ways to do it. There's over 50 ways to create a campaign. So there's truly something available there for every type of business. The problem is, because the great news is they've created all of these options, and that's also the bad news, that they've created all these options. So people just don't know how to navigate them. But that's our goal, is to educate, and as a former teacher, to educate as many businesses as possible to be able to at least know what the options are and the possibilities are, and to try to, teach them how to do it themselves. And if they're already doing it, optimize what they're already doing, or at least, know if whoever you're hiring to do it is, doing what you want them to do.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that this is a huge opportunity for small business owners and for entrepreneurs. Would you not agree that you need to know what your goal is, though, when you go to use Facebook to market your business? Because it can get confusing. I do use Facebook ads and boosts for my shows, and I know exactly what I'm looking for, probably the wrong thing, but I know exactly what I'm looking for. So would it be that you don't even bother using it if you don't even know why you're using it?
Yeah, I mean, that's like the first thing that I always like to cover with clients, or even in the book that we do kind of go into, what you think about before you advertise is more important than what you do after, because, it's kind of like a business. Like when you start a business, if you're not locked into what you're doing, like all those efforts and things you do are just going to be, it's going to be for naught, because you didn't kind of think about it before you did it. So, and I feel like what people see, what the user sees, is the ad itself, right? So they see, an image, they see a video, they see somebody writing, some copy on there, and they're like, I can do that. And that's true, you can, but the ad is the last part of it, right? There's a bunch of steps before that. And if you don't kind of know how to get to it, then, and a lot of people will try to skip through, because there's like, oh, I just want to get to the ad because I know what I'm going to put in the ad. And I'm like, okay, well, there's 6 different ad objectives or 8 different ad objectives that you can choose. It's like, which one do you choose? And most people are just like, oh, they don't even know what the ad objectives mean. So it's like, so it's, and it does get frustrating for a lot of small business owners and entrepreneurs, because it's like, they're like, they don't have time. They're just like, oh, I want to get through. I just want to get to the ad so I can launch it and say I'm starting to advertise. But it's like, you might as well at that point not even do it.
He's of course all about strategy, just in general for marketing, because that's what his career has been. But I mean, very simply, well, I don't know if it's simply, but for example, if you say you want people to visit your website, right? Okay, great. I'm going to make an ad to visit my to visit my website. But what do you want them to do when they get to your website?
Right.
Do you really just want them to click to your website? Do you want them to go to a specific landing page on your website? Do you want them to fill out a lead form on your website? Do you want them to make a purchase on your website? And all of those, sometimes I think that people think like, well, I'm going to just get onto my website and they're just going to do it, right? Mm-hmm. The thing is, what's called the performance goal, Facebook will get you those type of people. So if you want people that just click and go there, they'll give you that. If you want people to fill out a lead form, they'll give you that, and so on. So, and that's just one type of thing. I mean, there's a bunch of other things that you can do as well.
And then Facebook muddies the water on that, because then they have things called boosts.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and boosting like it. So they understand how confused and how complicated, because they tried to make an ad system for everyone. And when you make an ad system for everyone, you're like, the interface looks like a cockpit of a plane. There's like 75 buttons, and you're just like, I don't know where anything is, right?
Falcon.
And if you know that, and if you're a pilot, sure, you know where all those buttons are. But if you're a person just coming in and you're just like, I don't even know what any of this is. So Facebook started to make it a little bit easier for people to experience what an ad would be like. And like boosting is an example. It's like, oh, if I have a post and I just want more people to see it than my organic kind of, my organic following, I can then open it up to more people. So you can, but not often is that post exactly what people want, but when you can have a ad that does so much more than a boosted post, but people don't even know that there's so much more available. You can change the creative, you can change your, what the button says, you can change, the person that you're trying to get, so it's like, there's so much that people don't know. And I feel like it's that knowledge gap that is the biggest problem, because, I'm sure if business owners did know that was available, they'd be like, yeah, I talk to people all the time and they go like, oh, I didn't even know they could do that. I'm like, well, that's it. Like,
the problem with boosted posts is people think that that's it, right? Or they think like, oh, I boosted posts and I tried, it didn't really work. I tried it. And then like, that's all. They think that that's their only choice.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of these different things that you can have the end result be as a way of promoting on Facebook. So I'm going to throw out a couple of different business ideas that I'm working with, or I've been in projects with, and this conversation has come up, and there's a lot of confusion around it. So for example, should people be sending people to a landing page to join, for example, a newsletter? Or should they send them to a lead page inside of Facebook and then transfer those leads onto their newsletter list? Like, if somebody's trying to build an email list like that, the primary objective of this entire process is to build an email list around whatever. What do you suggest they start with?
So they would so for that, and people would think, okay, that's a perfect example. Oh, like, well, I'm just going to do traffic to my website, but that's not what it's going to optimize for. So for that, they should do a conversion to lead campaign. And you have two options with that type of a lead campaign. If you want to do a lead capture, you can have it go directly to your website. If you have a landing page set up for, lead capture and everything, and not everybody has that. Or what they have now called instant forms, where you can stay on platform and do a lead generation right there. You can capture their information. And the great thing about that is it autofills for you. It has that option of, if they have that information on Facebook, which generally they have their name and email at least, right? It's as soon as you click through, it's like autofill and they can submit it. It's like super easy and you don't have to connect it to a website. However, if you have a CRM set up, you have the ability to pump that into the CRM as well. So
you can take it directly from, like, a lot of our clients use Go High Level. A lot of our clients use Beehive. Can they go direct from that Facebook ad on that lead, keeping it in platform, and use Zapier to take it over to?
It's not direct. It's but Zap's easy, and actually Facebook will push you to do that in the, like, when you start getting leads, it'll say, there'll be a little button within the ads interface to say, like, connect this to your CRM, and then it kind of pulls Zapier into the situation, and you can kind of make it all. It's not as for anybody who's set up Go High Level. It's definitely not as complicated as that, just to zap those leads in there. But really, I feel like the biggest advantage, or the biggest thing that people miss in the, should I stay on platform, meaning do the ads right there on Facebook, or send them to my website, is the tracking. Because, there's I don't know if anybody knows about this, but so when this was 3 years ago, when iOS 14 came out, it basically cut off and severed a lot of the signals that Facebook can get from Apple, right? From phones. And since like 95% of Facebook traffic is mobile, it essentially, almost cut off communications to the ad system from people's websites on mobile.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why Facebook, I mean, beyond it being, I think it's good to have on-platform stuff, but one of the biggest reasons they developed all these on-platform ad units was so they didn't have to lose that signal when people left Facebook. So, and they actually promote people to stay on platform for that reason.
Yeah, because the tracking, like you have to set up a pixel, right? So then the pixel was the only thing. But then when the what was it, iOS 14, when that changed, then you have to do CAPI.
Which
People
is like
even know what that is
Yeah.
and whatever. And I mean, bottom line, Facebook does not want you to leave the platform.
No.
Right.
Ever, right?
No.
Even
in your book, is this in your book?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Oh, let's put this up for a second. Guys, take your phone out, scan it, watch it, look at it, read it.
Yeah, it's I mean the tracking thing is actually, I mean, it's really interesting if you're into that tech stuff, but really it's just, I mean, but to me as a user, I think, and to me as a digital marketer, the less friction a user has to do what they need to do,
Right.
the better. You don't want to give anything the possibility to go wrong. So if somebody can see an ad, click on the ad, and then fill out their form all in that same process without doing anything else, right? That's the safest and most frictionless way to get your lead. If you have them go to your website, okay, well, if there's a little bit of delay between your phone and the website loading, people are going to be like, "Oh, I'm done with this,"
over it.
right? Or they see, or the form or the button is below the fold, and they're like, "I don't even see this." Okay, and then they're going to scroll, and they're like, I feel like that's the biggest advantage to doing stuff on platform, beyond the fact that Facebook gets maximum signal, and it's actually what they're pushing. So I can't. I don't know this to be true, but I know when they want something to work, they make it work.
Yeah.
Right. So, and when they don't, they don't. Right. So it's like they'll incent you into doing what they want through the success of that platform.
Yeah. The cool thing about the instant form is you still can have them go to your website when they're done. Right. So it could say like, they put in their information, you can have it say like, okay, cool. Like, you're going to be getting an email shortly or whatever. If you want to go to my website now, click here. Or you can even have them go if you have a lead magnet, many people have lead magnets now. Mm-hmm. You can have them get the lead magnet right then and there as well. And have them click to open your lead magnet, right there.
So I'm curious. I mean, I hear a lot of coaches, myself, and I'm not a coach, but more, I say this too, and that is, you shouldn't put all of everything that you own on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I mean, I watch every single day people saying, they shut down my ad account. They turn me off. I don't know why. So how do we discuss that for people that are building groups and building pages and keeping their shows on there, keeping everything on there, and they could be turned off like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk. And I would say that the ad accounts are okay, but like you can create new ones, right? So that's like, if your ad account gets shut down.
That's the first thing I don't think people realize.
Like people understand that like, you have a personal ad account, and then you really should be making a business account, an ad account attached to that. So that's
with additional admins.
Yeah. So
that's like the number one thing.
Yeah. So that does happen. I mean, I don't like anybody doing everything, and everything should be eventually going to a CRM.
Yeah.
You should have at the very least a spreadsheet kind of your clients and what you're doing outside of that, because it's just, there's so much
start
to
with a spreadsheet. I mean, that's what, and that's the thing too. Like if people are just starting out, like I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and they're trying to build their business, and they have somewhat of an established business, but they don't have a CRM yet. And you can still do this because there's something called Lead Center in Facebook in the business suite, and you can track things right in there. But the thing is, your leads, if you're not connecting it to a CRM, they're going to be there in a downloadable spreadsheet anyway. Right. But I feel like everything has its place. Like the groups have their place. We have a Facebook group, everything has its place to build it, but you want to definitely get the people from Facebook and still have their contact information somewhere else. Like even if you're just simply doing, a spreadsheet.
And you could do advertising other places too. It's just that I feel like the Facebook should be the center of the bullseye for you, because you'll get the most exposure for the least money with the highest output. And I feel like there's other platforms that do a good job too. Like, sure, Google Ads is great, but people have to know that your product exists to go Google you. If they don't know you exist, then you got to somehow show them you exist. So, Facebook, like when people scroll, they're used to seeing, the reason why they're on Facebook isn't to see like what they already know. They're going on Facebook to see like what happened today.
Right.
What do I know? What's going on in my friends' lives? What's new in the world?
What else exists?
So
what
they
can
scroll
I buy
through.
today? Well, I mean, they don't go there for what to buy today, but
I
I
do.
scroll and I find things constantly that I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I'm gonna buy that.
People don't go like, oh, I know about this product. Now I want to go look it up on Facebook. That's not the user journey there.
I mean, the thing is, you can target people in Facebook, your type of person, your perfect avatar, and also the type of action that you want them to take. So if they're more likely to click and that's what you want, they're going to show it to those type of people. If they're more likely to fill out a form, they're going to show it to that type of people. So, and he was talking about tracking earlier. The tracking just means like the signal so that it can learn the type of people going to your website. But as far as the tracking goes, the reporting is unbelievable. There's so much reporting available when you run Facebook ads, and you really truly can see what's happening. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to put this ad in a magazine and I have no idea who's looking at it, what's happening, are they taking action, so.
So let's break down like a specific example here. So I run a Facebook group. I know many businesses run a community style Facebook group, and they're asking membership questions to get into the group. People are leaving their phone numbers and emails. They're having VAs go in and scrape those and put those on into their CRM, and then they're building the community inside the group. I know that's an easy kind of free strategy with a little bit of friction in it. How would we use Facebook ads to give me a strategy, like specifically, like, can I do an ad to join my Facebook group and collect that lead before they go into the group? What do I send them to a landing page to jump into, and then we use the thank you page set up for a Facebook group? Like, walk me through what would be the strategy. I'm happy to use myself as an example.
No, there's a couple ways you can do it. Like you can advertise a group.
Well,
you can.
Not everybody has the option yet.
Yeah. No. Okay. It's out there.
There is a goal, but it's not available to everybody yet. For some people, that has the option to advertise the Facebook group specifically. But in the past, and what I think I would recommend anyway, is do what you're saying, is like get the lead and then join the Facebook group here, because I get what you're saying. You got to go in there, find the emails, build your own spreadsheet.
And if you accept them into the group, the email's gone forever. So
I'll just tell you what we do.
No, actually it's not.
Oh, it isn't?
You can find the emails after you've accepted them, if that's what you're saying.
Wow, I did not know that.
Because I thought once you approve them, the data that's used on the membership questions is actually lost.
No, you could click through to their profile. Yeah, if you're inside of the group and you click on the member and you're the admin, you'll see their like membership profile almost, and on the bottom it'll say,
questions. Answers.
No, you heard it here, guys. That's a tip.
There you go. That's great.
Yeah, have your VA go through that.
It is buried. It is buried, but you can find it. That's the thing, is like
but it's not automated, which is, I'm like, can I just get it
right? So I want to grow my Facebook group because that's where I can do community stuff, but I would rather have them on my email list than in the Facebook group. Like, walk me through what would be
the way we do it. The way I prefer to do it is that I run the ad to some sort of a lead capture, whether it be on Facebook or on the website. Then like just a regular landing page, that does like, name and email, right? Whether we do it on the ad unit, we also do it on the page. But then once they become a lead, I'll send them an email with a call to action to join the group. And then I'll also flip it to a thank you page that also has the group. Yeah. So it's like you have the email, you get their information, and then you pitch them both on the thank you page and on the thank you email.
And is the thank you page, Rob, is the thank you page just literally the Facebook group link? So
I would,
both.
yeah,
That's
you
what I was
can do
going to
both.
say.
Yeah.
Like, if you want literally the clickable link, once they submit that, you can have them go right to the Facebook group and request to join. If there's other things that you want to show them, like a course or something else, like, and have those few things on the Facebook page or on the thank you page rather, then sure, do that too. But you can do either. If you solely want to have them join your Facebook group, like, yeah, just collect the lead and
it will
send them
automatically.
I mean, I think for me, the way I've always looked at social media, just in general, for the businesses that are mine, but also the ones that I consult, is this is my analogy, and I don't know if this is valid or not. So I'll just get your take on this. I look at social media platforms as a barrel of fish, and the friends and the fans and the community members and all the people on that platform are like fish in that barrel. And the content that we give them, posts, trainings, videos, all this stuff, is like putting fish food in that barrel, and we're just fattening these little fishies up.
Yeah.
Where people get mixed up is that now we're fattening these fish up. The reality is what we have to be able to do is take a net in, or at the very least a fishing pole in, and take those fish out of that barrel and onto our email list. And so this, for me anyways, like I have friends that sell stuff direct, D2C right on the platform, but I'm always like, I want them on my email list. I want them subscribed to my newsletter more than anything else. Because I have two clients that are the lamest, most boring, bland posters on the planet. And both of them had Facebook accounts shut down. And I've got other friends that are like crazy controversial and they're still there. So it seems to be
no rhyme, no reason. It doesn't seem to make sense.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, is that the philosophy, is like the end game is to get folks off of Facebook, off of Instagram, into my email list? And is this not only a valid, but a way to do that in a way that can be profitable?
Yeah, well, I would say for any business nowadays, your wealth should be in the first party information you have. Because I don't know if you've realized, but like look over the last 5 years, it's like information battle, GDPR. Now there's a California GDPR. I forgot what they called it. It's like the same thing except just in California. It's like slowly evolving. Eventually, you're not going to be able to collect information from anyone at all ever, right? That's going to happen maybe sooner than later, right? So the more information you can collect now, that is going to be wealth. And then you'll start to see people like doing information exchanges, like as a way for businesses to work together, because you're not going to be able to fish anymore. Like the fish and wildlife are coming and being like, you can't hunt here anymore. You can't fish here anymore. You can't do anything. Like, so build those lists now and get your information, and just, you have to be able to be your own source of information soon. So I'm not saying tomorrow, but I'm saying soon.
And the free value is the way to do that. If you have a lead magnet, if you have whether it's a PDF, if it's a video, helpful tips, true value for them to get. Well, you also get that lead, and then whether you want to if you want to just send them to your Facebook group, that's great too. But if you're really just wanting that lead, because then I feel like sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to join a group. I don't want to be in a group. I don't want all those notifications. You can do both, and then you really can do it. Have them get that free value, and then, like he was saying, send them that email, and then give them that option to join your Facebook group as well. So you're getting the lead and then getting them into the group after the fact. Maybe. There's definitely a lot of options.
The point is,
free value is important.
You want multiple ways to get to people. You want to, and if you can get a phone number, great, because then you can text them. If you have an email, awesome. You email them. You have them in a Facebook group. You have them as a Facebook follower. You have them on your YouTube channel. You just want to be able to get to people wherever they are, because that's really the name of the game now, is not forcing people into the tactic or technique that you're doing. It's meeting them where they are, so that know.
So you got a business owner, and I can hear it now, because I hear this I literally have this conversation every day in this space. and it's some version of, oh yeah, Facebook is dead. Facebook is in the past. I'm gonna go learn TikTok, and then I'm gonna go learn, whatever Snap or whatever. And the thing that for me that I always can't seem to get across is the value and the importance of getting the data off of a leased platform and onto your own. And to me, like when I have these conversations, I literally, I mean, I was just saying to Karen, between shows today, that I have a friend who's building a newsletter, right? Like, I don't know why this has come up. This is just what happens when we get to go in real time. Like, I have a friend who just started a newsletter. I'm super clear on the business. Like, I even told him jokingly yesterday that I wish I was as clear about every business that I work with as I am with his, right? And all roads lead to a subscriber on an email based asset. And it's just every distraction under the sun of what we're going to do and how we're going to co-reg and we're going to do all of these things. And at the end of the day, it's like, do you have a mechanism in place to get 10 subscribers a day? And I feel like in what you're talking about is that's a pretty easy ask. 10 newsletter subscribers a day. Am I?
Yeah. I mean, and depending on what you're
depends on your ad spend,
what you're trying to do, and like what you're like, how big your audience is, how niche your product is, whatever it is. I mean, you could get newsletter signups for like $2, less.
Easily.
Like for the cost of a click to CP2 to somewhere, you could get a sign up. It's really great. And if you optimize it,
and if it's like, only first name and email, that's what you. It's so
easy,
like
simple.
You want it less friction. Like he was mentioning phone numbers. Like I feel like that's for like maybe more of for say home services. You want a free quote, right? And they need to multiple ways to contact you. That's a little different than like getting 7 tips to whatever, or and getting that email and then getting on a newsletter. Like there shouldn't be so much friction for that. But
yeah.
Well, I think it's because I believe it's your most valuable asset to get your email address to give to somebody, because we all know what happens when you give your email to somebody, right? You get spammed. I mean, in one day you might get 10 emails. You just opted in, and I'm like, unsubscribe immediately because it's so annoying. But if it's annoying to me, annoying to you guys, it's why do people do this?
They still do.
You still do
they
it.
Still do. Because if it's something they want it. Like it's like they don't care. Like that's like people. If you find the right person with the right opportunity and the right product, like they will do more to get your product than they would anywhere else. Like there are some landing pages or stuff that I see out there in the world. I'm like, I don't even know how this sells product at all. Like it's impossible to find. But if somebody wants something, they will do the work to get it. Right. So it's like,
or search their email and say, wait, I know I signed
it's almost like
that.
we're like, if you're in an industry that's like, more like a utility, or like something that doesn't have that there's just dime a dozen and like the only difference is marketing. Yeah. Then you got to be a lot better, at acquisition and how to do things. But if you have a pretty niche product and it's like really, really good, and like, you don't have to be as good of a marketer in order to get people to buy. So that's just like, I mean, but if you're a good marketer with a good product, like that's where you just
because then that goes into email marketing strategy then, right? To not be that annoying person, or having the right titles to have the open rate and all that. But
I did want to talk to you though about the because you meant like with TikTok and stuff, and Snap, because I run into this too. It's like everybody's like, oh, I have to be on TikTok, I have to be on Snap. It's like
that's organic,
I would ask people to. I mean, the easiest way to know if something is successful is by the amount of ads you see, because no advertiser is going to advertise on something where they're not making money, right? So everybody goes,
well, you and I clearly have some different clients.
Yeah.
Because I think there are a whole lot of businesses that are chucking money at Facebook and chucking money at Instagram that aren't actually selling something. They're being sold that the exposure is worth it, that the brand recognition is with it by an ad agency that's taking a 20% clip on top.
Well, that's true. I mean, they will. I mean, there are. I mean, there are people out there saying like. I mean, there are people out there selling for impressions, and I'm like, you might as well just like, I call that spray painting the internet. It's like,
well, give them the vocabulary lesson because not everybody understands why impressions is that. An impression is
an ad impression is really just.
Sorry, the teacher in me has to make sure.
I love it. I love it.
An ad impression is literally if that ad showed up in your feed, right? So, but you don't know if people actually saw it. Like if you're scrolling fast, you may not even see it, but you do get an impression. So like some people are saying like, oh, I got 1,000 impressions today. I'm like, congratulations. Like, I don't know what that means. You drove past 12 billboards too. Did you see any of them? No, that's the same concept.
So how does that compare then to reach? Because I know when you look, it says impressions, it says reach, it says views, it's,
Reach is unique people, right? So it's like, you got to think like impressions is a total number. It's like, so if you saw 10 ads,
10 times.
If you saw the same ad 10 times in a day, your impressions would be 10 and your reach would be 1, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like you do like, so the closer reach and impressions are to each other is the more unique your audience is. So if you have 500 reach and 1,000 impressions, then that just means that you've reached 500 people and you showed them your ad 2 times, right? So it's like that kind of thing. So yeah, so this is where like and these are kind of common marketing terms, media terms to be specific, like that most, people who go to school for marketing, whatever, you learn this, but then, Facebook and everybody, they throw these things out there like, and nobody knows what that is.
In our neighborhood specifically, right? There's a magazine that's based on it's called like Windsong Life or whatever. I forgot what it's called.
Neighborhood.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Sorry. American Lifestyle is one of them.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. There's many.
Whatever it is. So you put an ad in there and then they say that they advertise
on Facebook
and they do, not that they're not lying, but then they get the reports that they're like, oh, I advertised here and then I got this and then I got so many impressions.
Yeah.
But okay, did you get anything from that? Where are they advertising it? Is it from your Facebook page or their Facebook page? Are you getting the leads from that? So that's the thing. It's just more about education, not to bad. I feel like every type of advertising has its place. I've come from I've worked in direct mail. My brother owns a direct mail marketing company that has its place. Everything has its place, right? But you just have to educate yourself on what that reporting is. Like, what is it that you're getting for what you're putting out there? My brother, believe it or not, that still works. Getting those coupons in the mail, people still use them. Every
time. I can go out to my refrigerator right now. Yeah, I can tell you right now what's on my refrigerator. I work in the direct mail space as well. I'm an investor in a direct mail marketing firm. I mean, I get the power of paper to be to be honest, but the problem with even the power of paper, a greeting card or a postcard or whatever, the power of that is we still have to have somebody take an action that gets them to engage with us somehow, whether it's QR code to an email account or whatever. It's just, it's a fascinating conversation because I think there are so many businesses that still are under the spell of some person they heard train or talk or whatever about, how to build a Facebook group to 100,000 people or how to, I have a client and we've built her Facebook group from 0 to just under 370,000 people. And the funniest part about it is I started screaming when we added person number 1, which happened to be her mom, of the importance of getting that email address coming into that group. And now that group is growing like it's beyond on autopilot. And there's 3 VAs that deal with it and all of this jazz. And if you go back and you ask her what the number 1 mistake she made was not putting in place things to collect email addresses and making that the focus from subscriber 1 to group member 100,000. So in her view, she knows she converts 74% of people into an email. So she looks at it as she's missing out on 75,000 emails. And when you roughly in the email game, you theoretically, $1 per subscriber per month is kind of the term thrown around. You start adding that up. I think Facebook is such a classic example of there's so much controversy and things around it. Whereas as business owners, we got to get back to
Right.
how do we connect that person to our ecosystem so we can solve their problems in exchange for value. AKA.
Well, it's the, it's people. I feel like business owners.
If you could have just rolled your eyes harder, I would have been right there with you.
Yeah. So business owners are people, right? And people are fallible, and like people think like, look at like weight loss. Like everybody's like trying to tripping over themselves to try to get, to pay, thousands of dollars for Ozempic. Do they even know what it's going to happen to them after this? Like, but they're going to be skinny. That's great. But the same thing with business owners. They just want that pill. They just want like, hey, I need access to 10,000 people. I need this. But then you're just like, why do you need it? Like,
everybody else has it. I want what everybody else has.
What to do with it?
The followers and all that.
I think what it comes down to though is that people hear all this mixed messaging from all these different players. And so the easy thing to do is, okay, well, I'm just going to go on Facebook and post that I ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and call it, and I'm marketing on Facebook.
Well, and I think that's why maybe people get confused, right? Because you said a lot. You hear it every day. People are like, well, Facebook is dead. I'm going to go to Instagram or TikTok or, whatever. It's whatever the thing is now. X. Right. They changed it to X. Okay. This is like. It's because I feel like they're still in like that organic mindset, which again has its place. You need to have social proof. You need to show that you're still active. If your business page only has something from 2018 on it, they're going to think that you don't exist anymore, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like it all has its place. You need to have that also. There's many things go into the world, organic and paid, and everything sort of works together. Because it's funny, like people are like, oh, I'm magically getting more organic signups or likes to my page and you're running ads. And it's like, well, yes, because they might be visiting your page. Not that the ad shows your page like a website, but it all kind of gets there. But the thing is, when you post on Facebook now, even if it's on your business page, it used to be that it was shown to your followers, but now that it's not necessarily shown to your followers, they want you to pay to be shown to your followers, right?
And they have the professional platform now as well. So your personal profile can now be a professional profile where you can get the analytics and all of that. And depending on where you have your followers, I tend to have more followers on my personal page, which is my professional page, than I do on my page.
Mm-hmm. But even here, it doesn't mean it's going to be shown, right? Yeah. You don't even know if it's going to be seen. Like it doesn't, you have to cut through all the noise that's out there now. Everybody's creating videos. Everybody's doing
Facebook.
A lot of
Facebook more so than Instagram is a pay to play space. I feel like Instagram's a great place to use paid media to get into in between those big influencers that have those big followings. So like it's just it's like if you have $1, like you were talking about before with there's so many gurus, so many people saying a lot of things. Really, it's up to the business to understand, what they need and then connect what they need to what they want to do. Right. I feel like there's too much influence the other way around. Right. So it's like, the business owner should be like, I need this. Where am I going to get this? And then you approach the agency or the guru or whoever, the training with that. I need this. I said there's an old chapter in the book on strategy, Zuck my life strategy, so where I go and in the most simple terms, ask questions like, what is going to help your business grow? Right. And I don't think there's a difference between asking a business owner, what do you need versus what's going to make your business grow? What they need is like what they think, what they need to grow. They know that I need customers, right? Okay, well, how is this helping you get customers? Right. How is this helping? Or say, oh, I need leads. Okay, how is this helping you get leads? Nobody's going to say, what's going to help your business grow? People seeing my ad. No one's going to say that because that doesn't help your business grow.
And I'm glad you mentioned influencers because I feel like that's part of the problem is people think that they need to be an influencer and have hundreds of thousands or millions of followers in order to get themselves out there, in order to get that lead, in order to get that sale. And that's just not true. You don't need to have anything in order to run a Facebook ad. You really don't. You can, the average person can be successful running Facebook ads without, you could have 100 followers, you could have 1,000 followers. I mean, it doesn't matter. So that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, like followers is I think it's a false metric. Like it's great. Like it's cool if that makes you happy, but like to me, it's
the everyday
revenue
person,
growth. Like
the everyday person not cannot, but I'm saying like it takes a lot longer, to get the way the influencers, the followers that the influencers have now, and it's just you don't have to have that.
I have to say, I'm seeing here, I'm really excited to try this sort of in lead form. Because I've watched people promote Facebook groups. I have 3 Facebook groups that I own and manage. I've got a portfolio of clients that have this, but I just keep always going back to, I'm still got friction. I got to market the group. I can't send them an invite link. I got to send them the link to actual group. Otherwise, because I'm in the admin, they don't answer the questions. But what I'm really excited to try, and this is my commitment to Caren, because she'll be on me before we're even finished with this call. I'm sure I'll get some text. Is I'm going to try this Facebook ad sort of direct in on platform lead gen. Is that done in business, your business? So there's a profile, then you've got a business page. Is that done in the ad manager on your business page?
Yes.
So yeah, you would access ads manager can work with either your personal ad account or a business ad account. So whatever that, so you would do it through ads manager. I believe you can do it through Business Suite. I think
you can. Yes.
Yeah, I don't like advertising through Business Suite or through your Facebook business page, because those and so this is another chapter in Zuck My Life, like I call them access points, like to advertising, and Boost is one of them, right? Your Facebook page is another. And Business Suite, if you look on the left, there's always they put advertising buttons everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But based on where you enter that Facebook, that button, there are features that are taken away because Facebook believes if you want to boost, then you're not really, you don't need to see all of it. You just need to see what you think. Like, so they shield you from all of the different options, thinking they're helping you. When I said, like, you're hurting people, because if you don't give them the option to be successful, then they're just going to say, like, oh, like I tried Boost and I'm going to get any customers.
It doesn't.
That's not really what it's there for.
Better off going from Ads Manager.
So I'm going to put the book back up. Guys, scan this. I can't wait for my copy to come. I ordered it over the weekend. I can't wait for it to come, because I'm going to try some of the things that are in there because I can. So I want you guys to do it as well, and let us know, how your marketing changes with some of these tips and tricks.
Yeah, for sure. And then once you're, one of my favorite parts, especially as a teacher, at the end of each chapter, we encourage people to come into our free Facebook group and answer the questions like he was mentioning earlier, and ask their own questions. So, and our Facebook group is open to everybody, not just the people that buy the book. But if you're in reading the book and you're confused, or if you just want to share your experience, or if you're saying you're stuck on something or like need a vocabulary lesson, jump in the group and let us know, and we'd love to, explain it further.
So I mean, one of the like things that pained me the most as an author was not being able to put in all the information I wanted to, because there's a lot more in my head than that's on the 150 pages in the book. But the way out was, hey, like, if you need more or less, or you're confused, just put a question in the group and we'll answer for you. And it's not an admin, it's not AI, it's us, right? Like, because you'll see my profile, like, answering your questions. So it's and if we get enough questions from things that are really, I'll go in there and do a live, like, because like
we want to know how to be more clear.
I just want to help people, and it's sometimes the hardest part about helping people is just to get what they need help with, right?
Check out the group, guys. It's Facebook101.com. Check out the Facebook page, which is Rob and Lynne. And again, on Instagram, Rob and Lynne Alfano. You're everywhere, guys.
Yeah, we wanted Rob and Lynne on Instagram. There's this old couple that don't want to give it up. They don't even use it.
Hey, money talks, my friend. Everything's for
sale. We should. I know. I don't know. I don't want to buy it though.
Everything's for sale. At this point, we're just haggling over the price.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
right.
Right?
I've been trying to buy my domain, robalfano.com, for like 15 years, right?
He's an actor.
It's so weird because there's a
Right?
guy, he was in like
Yeah.
2 movies. Like, I mean, you know, he's got like 1 credit on IMDb, and he was very, very like kind of
Well, we have a lot of
early.
websites
He's very
that do
early
that.
on the website, and I've been just trying to get it from him for years, and he just always wants too
Well,
much.
that's one of the things we teach our kids now in school is go get your own domain, your own name, because somebody else will.
Well, yeah, most people buy like, you know, whatever savings bonds. I bought them domain names. So
Well, and you know, this is a side note. I know we don't have time to get totally into this, but one of the reasons you're going to have a time getting that website from him ultimately is because that website is tied to IMDb, which is tied to his SAG card, which is tied to the SAG union, which is tied to his residuals. And I mean, in almost all cases, the union is going to require you to own the domain name for the name in which they pay residuals.
I just hoping that he slips up like and doesn't update it, and then I could just
You'll swoop in and pick it up.
Awesome, you guys. Well,
do you want to know something that I learned when I was working at Facebook?
Sure.
Is that one time the facebook.com domain got bought by somebody else because somebody in the company forgot to renew it.
Oh my
and
gosh.
somebody jumped in on it and bought it. And of course, they weren't allowed to do anything with it because, you know, but they had to do something. They had to pay them off, you know, so they had to, you know, so that actually happened. Like, so there's a lot of, you know, this stuff, you know, digital marketing and all this stuff is like, it's just a crazy world. Like, and, you know, Facebook is a perfect example of just how crazy it is and how much it changes. And, you know, things you do 6 months ago aren't even, you know, relevant anymore. I mean, they still kind of work, but it's not like you have to just be in the game. And, you know, writing the book, Writing Zuck My Life was all about like, I just want people to have a basis to have a conversation, right? Because it's like, this isn't going to make you the best, you know, you're not going to spend $10,000 a month after reading it, but you will be able to talk to somebody who spends $10,000 a month and not, you know, and understand what you're talking about and then go to the next level.
Or at least just know where to begin, you know? So.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, you guys, I can't thank you on behalf of Caren and I enough for stopping by today, hanging out with us in the Business Banter box and, you know, bantering back and forth about this. I know that I feel a little bit more comfortable in going in and playing around and trying some things on Facebook with marketing that I've been waiting for this interview and for this chat to decide what, because in my head I can come up with lots of hypotheses, right? It's a matter of actually putting them into practice. And so,
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, like I said, I just love, you know, I love helping people. I just want people to be successful. Like, you know, I'm not in it. Like if my clients aren't successful, like you could ask her, I'm not happy at all. I don't sleep well. I'm not like, you know, I like, you know, so I'm not in this to just,
and this
just
isn't
a bait and switch. Like
everybody, like more people, because we can only work one-on-one with so many.
Right.
Right. So.
Well, we appreciate you guys. We really appreciate. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us. And Casey, you need to go out and give somebody an awesome day.
Go give somebody else an awesome day, guys. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. We will see you on the next episode of Business Banter.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao.